I'll take you to an activity at a Boy Scout summer camp. The activity was to build and race a simple billy cart. Now, a billy cart is a non-motorized go-kart. The plans called for a main structural board to be placed very close to the steering board. The close proximity of the two boards made the steering very limited. It confined the freedom. Virtually every one of the 10 troops, over 200 scouts and more than 40 scout leaders decided to ignore the instructions and place the structural board far from the steering board to give the cart more steering, unobstructed freedom. This decision allowed for an almost unobstructed turning capability of the go-kart. Now, I just happened to be one of the leaders in charge of this activity, and I knew from experience, I have the skinned elbows and knees to prove it, that the limited steering was necessary. Too much steering would cause the driver to overcorrect and would inevitably result in a crash. The first scout to take the test drive almost immediately lost control. He ran into an embankment and was launched squarely into a tree and dumped on the ground with a thump. It was awesome. Each scout, one after another, had the same catastrophic results. Few were traveling more than just 30 or maybe 50 feet. They quickly learned that the unobstructed freedom of turning caused them to immediately overcorrect and lose control every time. It was absolute chaos. The quick adjustment to the boards on each cart limited the steering, and within that newly confined freedom, each Boy Scout had more control over the cart because their turning was no longer unobstructed. It was confined. They traveled further and faster down the hill and without injury. The balance between unobstructed and confined freedom resulted in more fun, more liberty, less skinned elbows and knees. Unobstructed freedom by itself produces chaos. Confined freedom by itself produces oppression. Balancing unobstructed and confined freedoms and staying within a well-defined boundary produces liberty and is the best hope for equality self-government in society.